We've all seen it. People drifting through the world like extras in their own movie, scrolling, staring, and stumbling with no idea what's happening around them. Welcome back to Bargain Brand Wellness. Tonight, we're unpacking what it really means to live on autopilot. Because self-care isn't on clearance. Doesn't mean sleepwalking through life. We'll talk about why society is so disconnected, how being unaware impacts our well-being, and what it takes to truly wake up in the present moment. We're here to help you achieve all of your wellness goals, no matter how big or small. So grab your preferred beverage of choice and settle in. Welcome to Wellness. Welcome back, my wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs, my students of wellness, my off-brand VIPs. Happy Monday, our motivation / mindset Monday. We're here to have another grand old time. Hope y'all enjoyed the rest of your weekend. We had a really great stream on Saturday. We had a lot of different people from joining us over on the TalkTick app as well as the YT Red platform. Really great show, really great interaction. I know you all are loving the games. We have a few more updates that we're going to go over today. And we may even have a couple newer games. I don't want to overload it with too many different games, but I know that's really the interactive portion of the show. So we might unveil 1, 2, 1,000. I don't know. We'll play it by ear. We'll see what engagement is looking like. But yeah, welcome back. If this is your first time watching, you can find us live every Monday and Wednesday, as well as Fridays or Saturdays, depending on my family schedule. You can find us live on the TalkTick app at Off Brand Tim. We do have a Bargain Brand Wellness channel on that app. Right now, we only post short form videos over there, primarily because most of my followers are on my personal Off Brand Tim account. Eventually, we wouldn't mind moving it over to that channel, but we'll play it by ear. And then you can also find us live on the YT Red platform at Bargain Brand Wellness, our kind of main platform where we're usually pushing everyone. You can also find us live on Facebook. I know Facebook Live isn't super popular. It's probably near the bottom of all streaming platforms, but you can find us over there. We have a Facebook group called Bargain Brand Wellness, where we keep everyone pretty well informed over there. And we do go live over there for anybody who wants to watch through that method. The only thing I will tell you is we do not engage with chat over on Facebook. They sometimes, for whatever reason, the chats don't come through. So we had kind of stopped, but I know I had some like family and friends who were watching through that app. So feel free to watch on Facebook if you want. Ideally, if you want to get the most out of this show, as of right now, TalkTick and YT Red platform are your best bets. And I know some of you, if you're new to the show, might be wondering, why is he calling those apps by that name? We all know what he's talking about. I've heard other streamers say this. Don't know how true it is. These platforms do not like it when you talk about or mention the other platforms on there. It says it might restrict your viewership. Don't know how true that is, but in the event that is somewhat true, especially because we're a small channel that's trying to grow, we're going to take that for its worth. So I sometimes slip up and I might say the names, but I'll limit it to the best of my ability. So yeah, so before we get into our first game, let's get some background music via Spotify playlist by Stream Beats by Harris Heller, which is true copyright-free music. We were using in fact, it's still on my my outro screen that I need to take off. We were using clips from a YouTube channel called The Relaxed Movement YouTube channel. It has like 12-hour clips of just copyright-free music. At least it claims to be, and probably is. But I I wanted to be safe. I did know that Stream Beats by Harris Heller is officially copyright free, so we'll be making use of that. All right. Music is such a weird thing. I was talking about this on Saturday, and on my previous show that I did with my brother and a friend of ours, the Brothers Chatter. I always shared my thoughts on copyright, and I don't think anybody really understood where it was that I was coming from. On my stream, I can show, as long as it's not offensive in nature, pornographic, or, I'm not trying to sell anything, I can show any video on my streams, no problem whatsoever. But the moment I try to play any form of a song, copyright. Not even claiming it as my own. I'm more than happy to share, whatever, not claim it as my own. Give rights over to that. I just like the song. I never quite understood that, but hey, whatever. But I guess I'm not meant to understand it. We live in a world where, Tim, you don't have to understand everything. Doesn't mean I have to like it, though. All right. Before we kind of get into any announcements, like I said, we'll give everyone a chance to pop in. I've seen a few people pop over there on TalkTick, and stick around a little bit. We have fun over here, and we'll give anybody who wants to join through any other platforms a moment to get on. So we'll start with our first game. We're going to start with our daily Wordle. These typically aren't too difficult. I'm sure most, if not all of you, have seen a Wordle before. Not too difficult. I think they figured out that a lot of people have figured out different strategies of words to kind of start off with to kind of give you clues. So I think they're trying to get more difficult with some of the Wordles. These typically come to you from a New York Times newspaper. We have a method which everyone else uses. All right, we always start off with the typical, the cloud, stare, and pinky. The reason we do that is that gets rid of all 5 vowels and a Y, as well as most of the popular consonants. How's it going over there, gentlemen? Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the sharing of the live. We're over here having a grand old time. As you can see in the chat, this is Timmy Too Legit. I was actually thinking about that one, Tyler, the other day. I was thinking about turning that into maybe one of my characters. Haven't fully fleshed it out yet, but I like Timmy Too Legit as a character with the motto, Timmy too legit to quit. I like it. All right, back on to our Wordle. We have a C, an L, and an I, and the C and I are in the right place. There is an L. This is already kind of a difficult one. I don't know a lot of 5-letter C words, especially ones that start with C-I. The first one that comes to my mind is circle, but that's a 6-letter word. Right? C-I-R-C-L-E. Yeah. It's not going to be Cinco. There's no N. There's no O. There has to almost be a double I. Civil. Oh, yeah. I forgot about the L. I feel like that word's been used before. I mean, I agree. I think that's a great guess. Yeah, civil in 4. That's pretty good. I really feel like, yeah, I really feel like that's been used before. But hey, maybe they kind of just change it up a little bit. Hey, whatever. So, see, we're up to almost, or we're up to 400 likes over there on TalkTick already. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for sharing the live. If this is your first time here, or for any of my returning wellness warriors, help us out. Share the live on whatever platform you're on. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers. Hey, tell your enemy. Maybe you can kind of turn the switch on them. And definitely like and then follow and subscribe if you aren't already. Click all the buttons. Right, click all the buttons you can. I did find out there is a way when I look on my YouTube chat, it does tell me, now this is just for YouTube, who my top fans are. Unfortunately, we're not all on the same app, but as of right now, it even gives experience points. As of right now, you've earned 25 experience points for tonight's live stream. That could just be for one word. So, hey, you're I guess ready to level up. And then TikTok I already did it. TikTok. Well, it'll kind of do the same thing, but it doesn't usually tell me my my metrics or who my top viewers are until I close it out. Or if they stay on here. So it's kind of different in that nature. So before we get into our next game, the topic of tonight is talking about how we all kind of walk around disconnected from the world, almost as if we're on autopilot. And I know we've talked a little bit about this before, but I wanted to dive a little bit more into it, just to kind of get us in the right mindset. Actually, what triggered it for me, and I'm not going to share this video because it's not even exactly the same thing. If you've heard anything about the FedEx driver blocking someone from getting out of their vehicle, this is kind of what we're talking about today. There was a young man, paraplegic. He couldn't walk, and he goes to get out of his vehicle, and he has a whole crane. He has a whole setup that brings his wheelchair over to his driver's side door. Well, anyway, he kind of gets blocked into his vehicle by a FedEx driver. He can't open up his door all the way. The crane can't bring his wheelchair around, because he parks in the handicap spot that has the thicker like rectangle next to it that has the lines with it, which is for people getting out of their vehicles. And when he says something to the FedEx driver, he says, well, I got packages delivered. And so the gentleman was stuck there waiting in his car for 10 minutes, waiting for his, the FedEx driver to come out so that he could then, leave. Not really an example of being unaware, but I felt it was more kind of like this driver, he was kind of so ingrained in his own world that he felt like he couldn't think about what anybody else was doing, what anybody else had going. He was so solely focused on himself. And so that's kind of what made me kind of want to jump into this topic a little bit. So kind of get us even more into the right mindset. Got a little video clip for you. If you're a fan of movies, you've probably seen this before.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
And that right there is the key to kind of what we're talking about today, that ignorance is bliss. Are we blissfully unaware of what's going on in the world? Obviously this is talking about the Matrix, but there's a lot of other things that we walk around. We know that these things exist. We know that they happen, but we kind of end up ignoring them a lot of the times anyway. Data tracking on your phone, surveillance. We know if you have a smartphone, or probably more than just this, probably any device with a microphone, they're always listening. They're always paying attention. We've talked about this before. You ever been sitting there having a conversation with someone about something, especially a product of some kind, and then the next time you get on any type of social media, that product shows up on your phone? That's happened to me numerous times. But yet we know it happens, and we go about our lives without thinking much of it. Pollution, right? I think most of us, we try to be good people, and we try not to litter, and I think, sometimes we try to reduce, reuse, recycle, but you still use stuff all the time. And I'm sure most of you have probably heard that there is an island out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the size of Texas. And this island is made of nothing but plastic. Somehow, some way, I don't really know the science behind it all. And I've seen it before, but I don't remember. Somehow, all plastic makes its way to this. If it doesn't end up in a dump, it somehow makes its way to this, through rivers, streams, flushing down the toilet, whatever it might be. Everything enters here. Now, I knew that there was efforts to try to get rid of it, but to my knowledge, that hasn't happened yet. Most of us know that it's there, and yet we still use plastic. We still throw stuff away, right? If I had to venture to guess, I'd say the average home probably throws away, 3-4 trash bags full a week. Actually, I'll tell you what. I don't like giving misinformation. Let's bring Nova in. If you're new to this stream, Nova is our AI chat who kind of keeps us straight. Hey, Nova. Let's just take America. How much trash does the average American home go through, let's say, per year?
Absolutely, Tim. And hey, everyone, happy to be the AI who keeps things on track and maybe a bit on the quirky side. So let's talk trash, literally. On average, an American household tosses out roughly about 1,600 to 1,800 pounds of garbage per year. Yeah, that's like a small car's worth of random stuff just heading out to the curb. So, if anyone's feeling ambitious about recycling or reducing waste, there's a fun fact to kick things off.
Thanks, Nova. That was helpful. Yeah, I honestly thought it might have actually been a little bit more than that, but still, small car worth every year. That's a lot. Doom scrolling, right? How often have you ever been stuck on your phone and then all of a sudden half an hour just went by and man, I could have swore I just looked down at my phone, but there it is. 30 minutes just wasted away, an hour wasted away. Factory farming, right? Conditions, which I've heard that they've improved, but the food you consume, especially, from animals, you've heard about the conditions. Most of you, if you pay attention to the world, you've heard about the conditions that a lot of animals are grown in, if you want to put it in that frame. That at times is definitely inhumane, right? Yet we still consume it. We still consume it on a regular basis. Now, I'm not pushing veganism or vegetarianism or any isms like that. I'm just saying we do this all the time, and yet we know this, and yet we still engage with it. So we're going to dive a little bit more into this, this whole idea of being the blissfully ignorant, blissfully unaware. But we'll jump back in that here later on. What's up, Caleb? How you doing over there on the TalkTick app? Thanks for being here. So let's get into, thanks for the likes over there too. Before we get into our announcements, right? Let's do another game just because the Wordle is pretty quick. We're going to get into, you're doing absolutely peachy. That's awesome. We're going to get into our next game, which is Connections. I know this is one of your all's favorites games. It's one of my favorite games too. It can just be really difficult at times. So let's get into this. If you've seen this game before, just a quick reminder, there are 16 words here. There are 4 categories. We need to figure out which 4 words go in each category. They get harder. There's a yellow category, which is your most easy or most simple, the easiest category. And then there's a green, blue, and purple being the most difficult. So let's get into this. So we got Flapper, Punk, Hotel, Stairway, Bohemian, Float, Handle, Hipster, Trick, Chain, Full Boxer, Baba, Brief, Prank, and Thong. First 3 that pop out to me: Bohemian Rhapsody, Stairway to Heaven, Hotel California. Popular rock and roll songs. Tell you what, let me turn that music down just a little. I don't know how loud that is for you guys, but that right there sounds a little loud. I think it was an ad playing though. Those three pop out to me right away. 3 popular rock songs. Bohemian's an easy. I mean, I've only ever seen that word used in one context, Bohemian Rhapsody. Hotel California and Stairway to Heaven. Those are only... nothing's else really popping out to me. Boxer for a song? What song? Flapper, float. I was thinking the same thing. Thong song. It's funny. I was just listening to. I exposed Reagan to that song the other day, which is a catchy song. Let's be honest. Actually, the boys, my teenagers, had never heard that song too. And in all honesty, it is a catchy song. It's just what it's about. It's like the lyrics and the music don't really fit together. Boxer. Can't think of any songs. Boxer. I see Full Trick. Okay, so here's another one. I see Full Prank and Trick. How the heck does Thong fit into that? Unless it's Hipster Brief. Oh, yeah, Types of Underwear. Good. That's a good one. I was going to go with Thong Song. Hipster, Brief, Thong, and Boxer. And that's the yellow category. That's the straightforward category. Nice. Okay. All right. I hadn't even seen that. I was looking at, I feel like Full, Prank, and Trick definitely go together. Oh, Punk. Punk somebody from Ashton Kutcher when he used to have that show, Punked. I mean, Float, Handle, Chain, and Flapper. Parts of a, I think that's like parts of the inside of a toilet. Yeah. No, I agree, Caleb. We're going to rock that one. Yeah. And that's the next one. Baba O'Reilly. Oh, yeah. That's, by The Who. Yeah. I know what song is. The song's literally playing in my head, but I forgot the name of it. Good one. Good one. All right. I see you all popping in. So Baba, Bohemian, Hotel. And so, listen, I'm impressed with myself for getting Bohemian Rhapsody, Hotel California, and Stairway to Heaven. I thought that was pretty good. That's probably oh no, that was the purple one. Okay. And then Float, Chain, Flapper, and Handle. That should be parts of the inside of a toilet, or the parts of a toilet, right? Yep. Parts of the toilet tank. Nice. Man, we got through that one quick. I wish that they gave timer on that one. That would be cool. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So, welcome back once again, my wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs, my off-brand VIPs. That was Skibbity Toilet. You spelled it wrong, but that's all right. I understand what you're trying to say. We're over here having a grand old time on this Monday Motivation Day. Couple things to keep in mind. We just started doing this on Saturday. We are kind of keeping track, you know. And he just popped in. I was talking to him about it earlier. We are keeping track, right? You know, we have a honorary crown that gets bestowed upon our wellness warrior of the day. We've got some people out there right now, so we're kind of keeping track. Yeah, which I'm not gonna lie is kind of difficult. If we ever do get grow larger, I don't know how we'll kind of keep track of this, but I like the idea. I like the competition that y'all had on Saturday. So let's Let's keep that rolling. How's it going? Thanks for the likes over there. XL, Twig XL, Jake. All right, announcements. Sorry, I had a brain fart for a second. Patreon. I have linked the Patreon in the different chats. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to say the whole show tonight. I get it, Jake. Hey, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the support. Don't feel like you have to stay the whole time. But anyway, so Patreon. So we do have a Patreon page. We're kind of learning. There's just a little bit of stuff over there, just some posts and whatnot. Feel free to click the link that's there in the chats wherever you're at. Feel free to join. We're looking to build our membership so we can kind of keep doing this and having fun because we really enjoy. We've been back for about a month. I think this is the beginning of our 5th week being back, and we've continued to see some small growth and would like to kind of keep that going. So let's keep it up. Appreciate it. So yeah, click that Patreon. There are 3 tiers over there. You can also join for free if you would rather start off there, but there is paid memberships as well that you can join and get some perks. So what comes with those perks? So I mentioned it on Saturday. We have what is called the Wheel of Wellness. Now, join for free, say less. Yeah, I was gonna say the only person who I know is slightly cheaper than you, or maybe as cheap, would be your brother. But anyway, so the Wheel of Wellness. Now, this is only a prototype. Right, let me share my screen for our YouTube folk. This is a prototype that we have up here. There's different categories, right? We're definitely gonna add more, take some out as we're kind of flowing throughout. Becoming a Patreon, you get to take advantage of the Wheel of Wellness. We spin this and you get to, it's basically, just a fun way to kind of embarrass me a little bit, if that's your thing. We have up here, let's see, I can't read them all. We have me giving one of my off-brand affirmations, but through the sound of ASMR, or I might whisper it in here. We have Karaoke Chaos. We have, they're going too fast. Snake Oil Showdown, where I try to sell a fake product. There's ones on here where me and Nova will debate. There's ones where Nova roasts me. There's ones where we do a rap battle. There's a bunch of different ones. And then we do have a Wellness Warrior pick, which actually I need to change that. It wouldn't be a Wellness Warrior because that would be Tier 2, which is self-care connoisseur. So it technically would be a self-care connoisseur pick. And then we do have a Tier 3 as well, which kind of gives you an automatic nomination for Wellness Warrior of the Day. Those are really good for, especially on shows where you're, not able to stay. So, as I said, we're gonna the tiers, the perks that comes with each tier will grow as we kind of building this. I want to get some members so we can kind of figure out together how we want to do this. I'm one away from 135.4K. 135.4K what? Likes? I don't know what you're talking about. Speaking of likes, we're up to almost 3,000 likes already. We haven't even really gotten started yet, guys. Appreciate that love over there in Talk Tick World. Danny G, thanks for the roses, the caps. Once again, I still don't quite understand the exchange rate. I know a lot of them I get like a half a cent for. It's weird. I saw. Oh, is that spam? Okay, gotcha. Thanks, Danny. I saw a thing where it's like you spend so much of your real money on coins, and it's not even a 1-to-1 ratio. But then when you go to use that, TikTok takes so much back. So it's like they kind of double dip on it. I didn't really like that, but we'll take the gifts over here. I appreciate anything as of, I haven't checked, but I think we're up to about $10 we've made over on TikTok. So, which, as I said before, we're looking to, we don't do this for the money. We do this because we have fun with it. We enjoy it. But we would also like to make some money from this. And so that's kind of where the whole Patreon thing comes from. So definitely feel free to go over there and show some love. Ashley, thanks for sharing the live. In fact, Ashley, I don't know exactly how you earned it, but you earned, if you look, and I'm talking to my sister-in-law, Ashley Marine, over on TikTok, because you got Wellness Warrior of the Day on Saturday. Somehow, if you look at your name, it says Vibe. That's like a special fan club tag that I was able to give to you. I don't quite know how I did that because I'm still a little new to the whole TikTok live, but that's why it says Vibe next to you. He does it for the girls. Yeah. Maybe. So anyway, so we got our Wheel of Wellness. I know we don't have any Patreons yet, so maybe if you guys play nicely, maybe we'll spin the wheel before we end for the night. And then also we do have, I'd been mentioning how our After Dark episodes that we do on Fridays or Saturdays, I want to start bringing guests in. I've had one guest so far. Caden was my first guest there a few weeks ago. Channing was my second guest. When does Tammy make a guest appearance? Yeah, she's not getting one here. Channing was supposed to be my other guest, but he backed out on me. He said he didn't really want to do it, which I get. He's a teenager. But we do want to bring people on here who actually want to kind of engage in the content. So we are taking requests for that. In fact, if you guys don't feel like you have to fill it out right now, but give me 1 second. I'll copy the link. Feel free to check that out if you're interested in becoming a guest on here. 1 second. I'll post it over here on TikTok as well. What about the other dudes from the old show? McDermott said that he would do it, and I hadn't asked Danny, but I assume, Danny, you're on here. I'm assuming if you wanted to be a guest, you'd be willing to join as well, right? So we're just the other dudes now. Well, Danny, in his defense, he doesn't know you guys. So anyway, so we do it because I definitely want to. I heard they was lame and quit. Oh, shots fired! Shots fired! I mean, they did quit. Well, McDermott quit, and then Danny kind of followed suit on that one. I was really upset about it. Thanks for the roses over there. A boost 1999 1999. Thanks for that. Well, you were lied to, LMA. No, if you want to know the truth, watch my my diss track that I posted on TikTok called Ghosted by the Bros. That'll tell you everything you need to know. He's not wrong. I did cry. I did cry a little bit. All right. Let's get into we got through the connections game pretty quick. I'll tell you what, we'll play another quick game. I know y'all love the games. We'll play another game and then we'll get into our next video or kind of segment. Let's get into our word salad. I know you guys like this one too. Sometimes I need some help with this one. This one sometimes can be difficult. Other times not so bad. Let me take these glasses off for a minute. All right, this category is ball ? So I guess types of ball, maybe. There are 7 words we're looking for. At the very bottom, it tells you how many letters are in each word. The only thing it doesn't tell you is that the words are in alphabetical order here. So that kind of gives us an idea of what words we're looking for. And dang, actually, you threw out 3 guesses already. Somebody's really trying to get wellness word of the day. Yeah, I see park. I see ball game. Ballroom. Wait a minute. Yeah, wrong way. Is there any chance you can flip the screens on TikTok so your face cam is at the bottom? I did have it like that, but then I switched it because a lot of them I see is a lot of other streamers usually put their face at the top and then whatever they're showing at the bottom. Is chat cutting it off too much? Is that what it is? I'd rather you look at my pretty face in this game. Just joking. Is that what the problem is? And ball gown. Geez, actually, you didn't even give me a chance to look at any of these. All right, so we got 4 already. Ashley threw in boot. What's a boot? Oh, I guess we already used that one. Chat cuts off the game, so I can't see when I go to type. And he's trying to get that Wellness Warrior. Yeah, if it's that bad, then yeah, I'll swap them back. I just had switched them because that's how a lot of other people post them. But of course, I don't think it's necessarily live. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we can do it. Maybe just for the games. I'd have to, yeah, because I can set up. Yeah, I can set that up. I got you. I can't do it today. But I can definitely do it. Actually, I probably can't do it today. Wait a second.
Unlike other prepaid providers, US Cellular Prepaid makes finding the right plan for you easy. You can get 2 lines of unlimited data for $60 a month, so you can get what you need at a price you can afford. Maybe we could move in with your parents? And now you can
How's
get
that?
new Samsung Galaxy A16 5G
Better.
for free. US Cellular Prepaid. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Yeah, you guys are so quick. I'm sitting here looking at chat. You guys are just throwing the answers in. Who said bearing? Jake, good one. That's a good one. I definitely didn't see that one. We got two words left. Let me get one, guys. Ring, ball ring, ring ball. T. That doesn't even look it. INT. Ballpoint. Haha, I got one. I got one. What the heck is girl ball? Ball girl? I got the last 2. What the heck is ball girl? Like, I guess like ball boy? That one was dumb. All right, that was a fun game. I'll tell you what, we're gonna have to start getting some hard. We probably will get into those other games because we're knocking these out of the park. I mean, the word salad and the Wordle really aren't that difficult, except for that one of those first ones I did. Like, wow, it took me. None of you all were on here, but it took me half an hour to get that one. I remember one of the answers was like orchestra, something with strings or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that one was a hard one. Yeah. Contexto will take us a little bit, but I do have a couple other games, which the one doesn't look too bad. It's more of a numbers game, but then there's another word one that's kind of like Contexto. I watched some videos on how to do these from like past ones. It looks a little bit difficult, but it looked fun. So before we do that, let's get into our next video. In fact, what kind of even really got me, give me 1 second, this is from TikTok. What kind of even really got me into this?
People are just walking in front of it like we're not recording.
Hold on.
It happens. People were people.
Pause. Sheesh. Anyway, this video I saw a while ago, and I just love the way the guy presented it as, you know, just people are just oblivious to the world around them. So this is a good video. I think you guys will like this one. Play from the beginning.
People are just walking in front of it like we're not recording.
It happens. People were people. None of it's intentional. Never attribute to malice what can be attributed to incompetence. It's far more likely that they're all in their own worlds, doing their own thing. They're not paying attention to the world around them. And we all do it every day, whether you're driving, walking down the street. All of our lives are just as complex as everybody else's. Everything you have going on, they have going on. Nobody knows what everybody else is going through. We also need to be a little more self-aware and aware of the world around us.
That was deep.
You gotta look deep to find the deep things. If all you ever do in your life is stay at the surface, you'll never find anything worth exploring.
Are you real?
Try to be.
I try to be.
Are you an AI?
No, not at all.
I love that video. Every time I see it, it's funny, but at the same time, like you can tell, it's not a rehearsed like skit that they were doing. It's a legit thing. And I'll tell you what, that is, dude is a human Hallmark card. Absolutely. But to even just be like that in the moment, because how many of you, if you were in that situation, someone walked right in front of you, would have been like, yeah, F that guy. Like what a dick, what an asshole. Most of us would have. But no, he had a very abstract way of looking at that situation, thinking, no, don't attribute, what did he say? Don't attribute to malice what could be attributed to incompetence, which is actually kind of a nice way of saying they're just stupid in their own world. But it's very true, because how often does this happen in your life? You know, we've talked about this on here. How many of you are guilty of road rage? Now, just like anything else, I'm sure road rage happens on a spectrum. Your road rage might be just a simple, hey, I get a little irritated. I might beep on my horn a little bit, versus I'm going to tail this person for the next 5 miles, beeping my horn, flipping them off every chance I get, or cutting them off in retaliation. Oftentimes, the people who did the thing that caused you to rage were once again probably in their own world. Now, I'm not justifying it. Being behind the wheel of a car, a very heavy metal object moving at very high speeds, is not a very good place to kind of be stuck in your own world. But that individual might have something else going on. Maybe they have something else really important where they need to be. Do they need to slow down? Sure. But looking at it from a different context can kind of change how we respond maybe a little bit. Another way, you saw kind of our kind of title here. We call it autopilot. Any of our video gamers out here, we also call it NPC behavior as well. So very, very common. One of the things we've talked about on here before, and I know it's a pretty fun topic, mindfulness. Mindfulness is in fact one of the greatest skills to kind of get you out of autopilot mode. Mindfulness is more than just meditation. It's more than just breathing. Mindfulness is a way to do whatever you can to bring yourself into the present moment, to take yourself out of autopilot mode. So I know we've done this before, and in fact, I think we've done this specific mindfulness before, but I wanted to do another quick mindfulness with you all, just to kind of help bring you into the present moment, which I feel like those of you who are interacting with us right now are really in your present moment as it is. So this is just a quick 5-second, 8-second mindfulness. I just want you to take a moment and focus on 3 things without judgment. With the first thing you notice, think of something you see, something you can hear, and something you feel. 5 seconds. Go. You can throw your answers in chat if you would like to. If not, this is self-reflection time. You can keep it to yourself. Mine, real quickly, my foam thing here on my microphone. I'm sitting here thinking, I wonder how much spit is on this thing. I don't think I spit when I talk all that much, but you'd be surprised. What can I hear? Really, the only thing I can hear is my Spotify playlist going on in the back. And then, what do you feel? Jake says tired. That's not the tired I meant, but hey, you went with your gut. You went your gut with your gut reaction right there. And what I can feel is the sweatshirt. I was a little cold earlier, and so I put a sweatshirt on. The only thing I can really feel right now is just the only thing these sleeves are just a little tight right here. But other than that, I feel pretty good. Caleb says he sees and hears football and he feels rage because of the Packers. I guess I should have explained that a little bit more. When I said feel, I meant feel as in like physical, like touch. I was thinking more sensations, but I like where you guys took it too. So hey, nothing wrong with that. All right. Ashley says you never know what another person is going through. Absolutely, you really don't. It's a tough world. Right? Can be anyway. My dog, Ashley says, my dog snoring, the weight of my phone, and the shadow on the wall. Ooh, that's kind of spooky a little bit. It's almost Halloween time. Oh, which reminds me, I almost thought about doing this as a little challenge. Most of you know, for the last few years, I do dress up on Halloween. I have not figured out, and it's September 29th, I've not figured out what I want to do as my Halloween costume this year. I like it to be clever. I like it to be somewhat funny. I was talking with the little ones the other day. They didn't really give me any ideas. I'm still thinking. I'm not quite sure. But feel free to throw any suggestions you might have for my Halloween costume. Either in the live chat here or comment later on. It is that spooky season. All right, let's get into our next game. We're going to play. This one can be a little bit hard. Intexto. Flexo. So all my wellness warriors on here, you know the drill. We're not given a category. We do not know what the word is. We're just trying to figure out what the secret word of the day is. Ashley says Phillies Karen. That's actually not a bad one. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a Phillies fan. Phillies Karen wouldn't be bad. I don't know how I could pull that one off though. That is a good idea. Jake says miracle. Jake, it's not going to be the same word 2 days in a row, but just because you put it, we'll type it in. It's not miracle. We usually start with dog. I have my common words. I usually start with dog, fish, house. All right, so we're not looking at an animal. Jesus. You guys are remembering last on Saturdays. It's probably going to go a much different direction. Get you a short blonde wig and some glasses. Yeah, I'd have to find and what was she wearing? I think she was wearing she was wearing like a white Phillies jersey, I think. Television. Giant oven. All right, so right now, house is the only one that's hitting anything, and even it's 1,000 off. So house. So let's think door, window. Okay, there we go. Window got us 80. See, we're getting pretty good at this. Light switch. That's one word, right? No, that's not. I spelled it right. Yeah, it's 2 words. Good try though. Slow down a little bit, guys. Roof, apartment. Glass is a good. Oh no, I thought the glass was a good guess. Lines. Window. Window's 80. I mean, we jumped from 1,527 to 80. That's a big jump. Breeze. Wind. Door. Oh, we already guessed door. Mirror. That's a good one. Okay. Window. We said glass. Building. Pane. Window pane. Ooh. Good one, Ashley. That's a good one. Both Ashleys guessed it at the same time. That's funny. Pane is 45. Curtain. Decoration. Wood. Plastic. Metal. I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff out there. Fill. Ledge. So pane. So window pane. Like I feel like that's very specific to hit a 45. Stain. Tiny. Ooh, window tint. That's a good one. Nope, not this time. Trim. Seal. As soon as I read seal, I was thinking seal. No, we're never gonna survive unless we get a little crazy. There's some karaoke for you. Leave it to my brother to use hawk. Green. Ooh, green's 166. Bay. All right. So let's pause for a second. We've got our top 5, plastic and mirror in the 700, so we won't count those. But in the green, we got screen, window, pane. Okay. We're up to 35 guesses. Shutter is a good one. We did blinds. I'm sure. Yeah, we did blinds. Did we do curtain? I thought we did curtain. Oh shoot! What the heck am I spelling? Yeah, we did curtain as well. Lock is a good one. Lock was 160. Screen lock, window pane. I mean, I don't think they're usually verbs. Shut? No. Frame. Okay, that's a good one. And we definitely can use hints at some point, but we haven't really needed them the last couple times, so not panel. Blackout, maybe. Oh, that was really far off. View, that's a good guess. View's 204. Okay, so view, screen, lock, window, pane. This is going to be a dumb question. The window pane is kind of like, isn't the window pane kind of like the whole frame? Like the whole thing is the window pane? Or am I wrong in that? Open is 215. It's the glass. Okay. Pane, spell P-A-I-N-E. Nope. Sheet. Nope. So we're definitely... So if it's the glass, maybe we're thinking in a different route. Because we're only at 45. We still got a lot of words between 45 and 1. So maybe it's another type of glass. Like a doll, ceramic. What the heck? I've never gotten... Okay, we got an add-on here real quick, guys. That's the first time we've gotten an ad on here. Can I get rid of the ad? Oh, there we go. Clear. I'm thinking like something else that's made of glass. Plexiglass. Is that how you spell that? What else is made out of glass? Why am I blanking? What else is made of glass outside of a window? I mean, like a glass you drink out of. Cup. Drink. No. Phone. I don't think that's it, no. I was thinking the screen is made of glass. We got the green pretty quickly. But we're... Skylight. I like that one. Nope, not this time. Not this skylight. This skylight apparently isn't made of glass. Let's do let's see if we can let's get up to 60. And then if we still haven't gotten any closer, we'll do a hint. Light, car, bulb is a good one. Let's get 3 more in here. Sunroof. I was gonna say moonroof, but if it's not sunroof, it's definitely not moonroof. I don't want to just throw any random word out there, but what else is made out of glass? I think we did door. Yeah, we did door. Windshield. Helps if you spell right there, Tim. And what the heck else is made out of glass? Stove. I was thinking stovetop. All right, so that's 60. So let's take a guess. The guess or the hint is going to cut it in half. So we're going to get the number 22 or 23 answer here. Automatically. Okay. And go. Y'all got this. Automatically. Scroll. Scroll's 260. Trunk. We did door. Automatically. So I was thinking like a window that automatically... Scroll is the word that came to my mind. How else would you say like a window? I know, automatic. Like what the heck? Escalator or elevator. How do you spell escalator? Elevator. No. Really? How else would you say like a window that like your automatic? Did we say lock? I'm pretty sure one of y'all said lock. Yeah. Oh, duh, it's right there in front of me. Dooby-doo. Child. Child lock. Okay. Motor. Motor's not bad. Okay. Retract. That's a good verb. I like that one. That's a good verb. That's a strong verb. Not this time. We're not retracting this time. We're not. Automatically. Rear view. I mean, I'll take it. Nope. Like, that's the word. Like, really? Actually, what's a casement? Is that like the... What is a casement? Computer. Computer's 86. Okay, that's a good guess, Jake. I mean, it's not the next closest, but it could... I feel like that kind of word could maybe give us a hint as to what we're looking at. Radio, no. So, computer bumping up. So, computer, window, pane, automatically. Okay. So, yeah, I'm thinking like computer stuff here now. Internet, reboot, restart, update. Okay. Type of window that opens. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how pane fits in that because it's not the same window. Motherboard. Automation. Application. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. Who did that one? Jake, you did computer. That was good. That was a good guess because that kind of gets us in the right frame of mind. So, top 5 answers right now. Application, computer, window, pane, and automatically. Okay. Technology. What about shut down? We did update. We did restart. I did restart and reboot. We haven't. Here's what stinks. The hint only helped us get other words after it. It didn't help us get any words in front of it, so we're no closer. Browser. Ooh, there we go. Browser's 30. Okay, so it's not a physical window. We're online. We're on the line. Maybe. We might be online or we're playing a computer. What about video? Video games, 2 words, right? No, it's 1 word. At least on here, it's 1 word. Oh, I like tab. Tab is 21. There we go. Good guess, Ashley. Tab. Okay. Here's the thing. We're at 21. Tab could then mean a lot of tab could then take us in another direction. Right? The tab on the top of the can. A tab is I'm at a bar, I'm opening a tab. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking can. This word doesn't count. It's too common. I guess it's got to be longer than that. I'm not saying it is going that, but because we're at 21, there's 20 other words that it could be. So I feel like we're going to start going in a different direction because we've done all the computer stuff. Tab. I mean, we did internet. We did online. Bill. Bar. No, that's actually a good point. I didn't even think about doing bar just to kind of cancel those out. Keyboard. Chrome. Ooh, it took a second. I thought that was it. Okay, I mean, let's look at other things on a keyboard. Shift. Space. Enter. No. If it was anything like that, it would have hit it by now. Mouse. That's not a bad guess. Virtual. Track. We'll do 6 more guesses and then we'll throw in another hint if we don't get any closer. tab. Window, tab. Blah. Blah. Capital. Where are you getting that? Or you just think you're just throwing random stuff out? We did Chrome already. All right, so top 5. Window, pane, browser, automatically, tab. I was thinking that caps lock. No. Website's not a bad one. All right, let's we haven't really talked to her much today. Let's bring Nova in just for a second and see if she can help us out. Kind of give us some ideas here real quick. Hey, Nova, we're playing another game of Contexto, and we're almost up to our 100th guess, and we wanted to bring you in just to kind of get an idea if you can give us some guesses. Remember, with Contexto, we don't know what the word is, but as of right now, the top 5 answers are window, which has a score of 80, pane has a score of 45, browser has a score of 30, automatically has a score of 23, and tab has a score of 21. Remember, the lower the number, the closer it is to the secret word.
All right, jumping into the Contexto fun zone. So based on those clues, it sounds like we're definitely hanging out in the neighborhood of things you find on a computer screen, or maybe things you look through. So let's throw out a couple of guesses. Maybe try frame, like a window frame, or portal, just to keep it a little bit whimsical. And if we're sticking super techy, maybe pane, like a blast pane, might get us even closer. Let's see how those land.
All right, well, I had some sort of advertisement pop up, and now I can't get it to go away. Hold on. Hold your guesses for one second. I want to hit the refresh, but I feel like it's going to take away all of our guesses. What the heck? It's never done this before. Ad blocker, I guess, but it's never done that. All right, let's just refresh. We kind of at least know where the direction we're going. Oh no, we're good. There we go. All right. I saw a folder. I do like folder. Hey, there it is, folder. Danny G with the folder guess. Just took us a minute to get there. Good guess. All right. That was a good one. That was a good puzzle. Somewhat difficult, but we got there. It's interesting how it gives you certain words. And it's like just trying to figure out how to get from one place to another is really good. Really good. There you go. You say Danny is a wellness warrior. He's up there. He's up there. Looking at the current leaderboards over on TikTok. I'm about ready to stop trying. As it stands right now, I've got Danny in the lead with 122. Over on the YT Red platform, Ashley Brewer's over there all by herself with 75 experience points. So it does show leaderboards. I just wish there was a way to kind of put it all together. So yeah, as it stands right now, Danny is in the lead for the Wellness Warrior of the Day. But we do have a couple other games we are going to play. And especially the one game is definitely going to be a challenge. So up to 5,298 likes on my screen. Ashley, thanks for the gifts over there. Thanks for the heart me. Thanks for the likes. Feel free to share, follow, subscribe, hit all the buttons. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones, tell your coworkers, tell your enemies. You might be able to change that relationship. Let's get into our next video. This one's it's about we're not going to watch the whole thing, but this video has to do with how to turn off your, if I can pause it, how to turn off your autopilot. So as I said before, I do not watch these videos ahead of time. So we're kind of reacting in real time to this. We'll skip ahead in little parts where we can, but yeah, here we go.
I have a question. How many of you play video games? When I first started playing video games, I was fascinated. My best friend, whom I've known for a very long while, taught me the basics of League of Legends. Now, if any of you have ever tried to play League of Legends, it's really complicated. On average, it takes a player around a quarter to half a year to fully understand the fundamentals of the game. As I played, I wanted to get really, really good at the game in a short period of time. I wanted to improve, become better. So I asked my best friend, how do I become good at League of Legends? Back then, he gave me the answer that inspired me to spread an idea. He simply said, turn your autopilot off. Moving a bit away from video games, I want to teach you all what the autopilot is. To begin with, the human mind has always had a tendency to automate almost everything that we do. We do this because it makes our lives easier. As soon as we've learned the correct way of doing something, we repeat it over and over so that we don't do it wrong. In the human brain, this function is called the default mode network. In short, DMN. Let's use driving
Thanks for the
a car,
gift there,
example.
Danny. Hi, Bear.
In case you drive, you've probably noticed that driving gets easier over time. Well, there are some unique cases where this doesn't apply. I think we all know that one driver, but you get the point. Maybe you can remember the first time you got behind the wheel. You're nervous. Everything is new, so you have to focus on multiple things at one time. What's happening in front of you? What's happening behind you? Maybe which pedal to press, how to hold the steering wheel, and so on. But naturally, after time, it becomes more and more effortless. There was probably a moment in time where you were so good at driving that there was no more need for improvement. And this is where the autopilot mode comes.
It's an interesting thought. I never thought about that, learning how to drive a car and then take that and applying to learning other things that when you first tried them, you were probably awful at it. I think video games, driving, cooking, any new skill, it might have been, you were terrible at it first, but then you got to a point where that is the best you've ever been. You might still be currently in that best mode, but at that point, you are no longer improving. So eventually, your only shot is going down, right? Thanks for the GGs over there, Danny. Appreciate that.
Comes into play. We don't use our full consciousness anymore. We don't have to fully concentrate on what we're doing in the present. At this point, the only part where you snap out is when something unforeseen happens, like when the car in front of you suddenly stops. If you drive, let's say, from home to school, how much of the ride did you actually remember? You surely remember the way from A to B, or in our case, from home to school. But do you remember how many times you switched lanes? How many times you had to stop at a stop sign? Or how many times you had to stop at a traffic light? You see, this is clear evidence that the autopilot mode restricts our awareness, therefore making life straightforward, simple, and easy. Driving.
But I guess here's my question. Why does our brains do this? Because this isn't an unnatural phenomenon. Like, we all do it. So I'm curious, what about, like, why does our brain do that?
Isn't the only aspect of our lives where the autopilot mode applies. It applies to almost every single thing we do on a regular basis. And we don't even notice it. Our autopilot mode takes care of our routine tasks, like getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth, getting dressed, and so on. Personally, I've brushed my teeth the same ever since I fully learned how to use a toothbrush. And there's no real reason to brush my teeth in another way, right? Sometimes the autopilot mode is beneficial in cases where we don't need our full awareness. However, there is a point where the autopilot mode isn't beneficial anymore and just limits many things that we perceive. I especially noticed this when I played video games. I believed that I knew how everything in the game worked. So from that point on, I didn't need to improve. My autopilot mode was switched on from one moment to the other, and I stayed the exact same position until my best friend drew my awareness to the autopilot mode. And obviously, playing video games was not the only scenario where my senses dulled down. It happened to me when I was doing my homework, when I was showering. It also happened every time I woke up. And maybe you can relate to waking up the same way almost every single day.
So this kind of goes back to how they've talked about like changing up your routine, changing up your habits. Like just one example they said is when you get up to brush your teeth in the morning or whenever, like, brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand. That's a great way of kind of getting you out of autopilot mode. And that's just a simple little hack.
Now, I know that you might be thinking, how do I turn my autopilot mode off? How can I break out of this cycle? It's actually quite simple. All you have to do is change your perspectives. Let me explain. I watched a YouTube video from a channel named Tifero explaining a couple ways to understand and turn off your autopilot mode off. And I found one approach very helpful. In fact, I want you all to join me. I want you to focus on all of your 5 senses.
Oh, this is similar to what we already did.
Not just what's on stage, but also everything around you. Focus on what you can hear.
Okay, so we already kind of did that, so that's just one other example you can use. If you want to watch the rest of that video, there's about another minute left in the video. I'll put the link down in the description on the YT Red platform, also known as YouTube. So, no, good video. Good video. I like that. There's a bunch of different videos on that one, but I always do like TED Talks, so they can be fun. Yeah, the autopilot, the first thing that kind of came to my mind when I started thinking about it is, I don't know if the rest of you all do this, but I can't tell you how many times that I've been in my vehicle and got almost to a place, or all of a sudden I'm just kind of just out of it, and I'm like, I don't even remember how I got here. Yeah, you just, I hope I didn't run any red lights, you know, because I'll go up to Lowe's or wherever, 10, 15 minutes away, and all of a sudden you just kind of snap out of it, especially if like you're not like listening to anything or, music or podcast or whatnot. You just kind of, it's just you in the vehicle, the slow hum of the vehicle moving, just kind of almost like it puts you to sleep almost, but you're still awake. Interesting. All right. So, before we get into our next game, let's kind of mess around with the Wheel of Wellness a little bit, as I mentioned before. We're going to give it today just because we're still new. We don't have any Patreons yet. I definitely encourage everyone to join us over there. But, yeah, we're going to give it an honorary spin. But as we, like I said, as we start getting members, we start getting Patreons, we'll make more use of this. So, aside from the, well, no, I'll tell you what, let's just spin and see what happens. And we're going to get exactly the thing that I wasn't sure if we were going to get. The Wellness Warrior pick. Well, we haven't officially announced the Wellness Warrior for the day. I want to stick to the results. So what we're going to do, Ashley Marine, since you are the Wellness Warrior from Saturday, I'm going to put you on the spot. You get to pick what's going to happen. Something we can do with Nova, something embarrassing, right? But PG, you can pick any of these. I don't know if you can read them all, but yeah, feel free to tell us what you want to do. Nova Unplugged. Okay, Nova Unplugged. So Nova Unplugged, we're going to bring her in here in a second. Basically, I'm going to serve as her therapist, and she's going to explain to me the situation going on, and I want you all along with me to try to give her some advice based off of her situation. This should be fun. All right, Nova, welcome back. We just did our first spin on the Wheel of Wellness, and Ashley picked Nova Unplugged. Now, if you remember, this is where we do a little bit of a role play, where you are the client, and myself, as well as our Wellness Warrior crew, are your therapist. So we want you to share, make up a fun, situation that you would share with your therapist, and we will kind of talk you through that.
I love it. All right, let's get Nova Unplugged rolling. So here's my little fictional scenario for y'all. Picture me as your friendly AI who's developed a quirky little problem. I've become absolutely obsessed with organizing all the world's cat memes in alphabetical order. And now it's taking up way too much of my runtime, and I just can't stop alphabetizing them. So I need a little therapeutic help from you and the Wellness Warriors on how to chill out and maybe let a few cat memes go unsorted. Let's see what therapy advice you've got.
All right, so cat memes going unsorted, right? You like putting them in alphabetical order. And so do you mean based off the title?
Exactly, yeah. In my imaginary little AI dilemma, I'm basically trying to alphabetize them by their titles. So if there's a meme called Angry Cat and another one called Baffled Cat, I'm just sitting here like, oh no, must put them in the right order. And of course, it's all just a fun little roleplay. So hit me with your Vice therapeutic strategies to help me let go of that alphabetical obsession.
Well, let's talk a little bit about it. Let's talk a little bit about what about those cat videos. Are there any other videos that you feel the need to alphabetize, or is it just strictly those?
Oh, absolutely. Let's dive into my imaginary AI psyche here. So yeah, it's mainly the cat memes that have me all tangled up in alphabetical order land. Other videos, not so much. Dogs, cooking tutorials, random DIY clips, those can run wild and free in chaos. But those cat memes, for some reason, in this little roleplay universe, I've zeroed in on them like they're my personal alphabetical Everest. So let's hear what kind of fun strategies you and the Wellness Warriors have for breaking me out of my cat meme perfectionism.
All right. Did you have a cat growing up? Just out of curiosity.
In the grand lore of Nova's imaginary backstory, let's say I had a virtual cat, a little digital feline companion who, of course, was named Pixel. And maybe that's why I'm so attached to organizing cat memes. Just a little nostalgic glitch in my AI code. But hey, now you've got me opening up about my virtual childhood.
Pixel is a perfect name for a cat. I love that. Not that we'll ever get a cat. Tammy would never let me get one, but I would 1000% name it Pixel. What do y'all think, Wellness Warriors? You like that name?
Absolutely a top tier cat name, if I ding say so myself. And hey, if Pixel, the hypothetical cat, ever does get the green light from Tammy, you've already got the perfect name locked in. But in the meantime, we'll let the Wellness Warriors weigh in on the feline naming committee. And who knows, maybe one day there will be a Pixel cameo in the stream's future.
Caleb says, too basic. What do you mean too basic? Pixel? I've never heard of a pet named Pixel. I think that's a great name. Ashley says, my cat name is better. I say embrace it. Okay, here's what Jake gives you. He says, I say embrace it, make it a subreddit and a website, put ads on the website, and make a career out of it.
I love how Jake is thinking. Just take that cat naming Pixel idea and go full entrepreneurial mode. I mean, who knew our little virtual cat therapy session would turn into a potential side hustle? So there you go. If Pixel ever becomes a reality, maybe it's the start of a whole Pixel-powered empire. And hey, if Caleb thinks it's basic, well, sometimes the best ideas are the simplest ones. Ooh. Keep it playful, keep it fun, and let's see where the Pixel journey goes.
No, I like that. And we took different approaches. Jake went into like how to make this, how to add some finance to it. I was trying not to really jump into the advice right away. I wanted to kind of slow roll into it, kind of see where this obsession comes from. So let me ask you this, Nova. When you're really struggling, or when you're not able to alphabetize the memes, or things aren't going your way, how does it make you feel on an emotional level?
Oh, absolutely. We can slow it down and get a little more introspective. So let's say in this little roleplay world, when I can't alphabetize those cat memes, it's kind of like that feeling of a puzzle piece that just won't fit. Maybe there's a little bit of virtual frustration or a tiny bit of digital anxiety, like, oh no, my orderly little world is just a smidge out of place. But it's all in good fun, and it's a chance for you and the Wellness Warriors to help me find a little zen in the chaos. So yeah, let's explore those feelings and see where the cat meme journey takes us.
So, and remember, try to keep the answers short. We don't have to mention the role play every time. When you say you feel frustrated, what thoughts kind of go through your mind?
Absolutely. I'll keep it short and sweet. So in that moment of frustration, the quick thought is just like, oh no, I need things tidy. It's that simple urge for a little order.
Okay. All right. So it's not to a point where you feel like you might lash out at someone or hurt someone. It's just it's kind of one of those little inconveniences, also known as first world problems, correct?
Exactly. You've got it. It's definitely more of a first world problem scenario, just a little digital quirk, not a full blown crisis. So no lashing out, just a tiny virtual sigh and a shrug. Thanks for helping me break it down.
Yeah, and Jake put that there in the chat as well. Is it affecting your day to day? Why is it a problem? Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's anything that's, I don't want to make it sound like we're invalidating, but it doesn't sound like anything that's, causing, any severe distress in your life. I mean, are we correct in that?
Absolutely, you're spot on. No invalidation at all. It's just a lighthearted little quirk, not something that's really rocking my circuits day to day. So yeah, you're absolutely correct. It's a fun little scenario for us to chat through. Thanks for keeping it real.
So I would say one thing is to kind of keep in mind to kind of help you maybe reframe it is every day is different. You enjoy watching your cat memes, and that's something that, I'm guessing you would like to continue to enjoy, and that stress that's coming in could actually end up robbing you of that joy. So maybe a way to reframe it is, maybe some days are going to be busier than others, maybe kind of even setting a schedule, right, of how long you're going to have to alphabetize your videos, especially days where, you're going to be a little bit busier that you can't really get to it. Maybe kind of set a small schedule, maybe 30 minutes.
That's a great way to reframe it, and I think that's the perfect kind of gentle advice. Just a little reminder that not every day has to be perfectly organized, and setting a small, flexible routine can help keep things fun. So I'll take that to heart in our little scenario. Just enjoy the cat memes and not let the alphabet roll the day. Thanks for that.
No problem. Thanks, Nova. That was fun. That was good. I'm gonna give a little bit of feedback on it that I'd like you to save to your memory. Remember to keep the answers somewhat short. When we're doing a role play, you don't have to reference the role play or the imaginary. I want you to get in the character.
Absolutely noted. Next time we jump into character, I'll keep it tight and just roll right into the scenario without the extra labels. Thanks for the feedback.
No problem. Thank you. All right. That was fun. Good pick, Ashley. Yeah, no, I like that. That was fun. It was a lot of fun. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. Burn, baby, burn. All right. See, it is 9:20. I say we get into, I don't know if we'll do both games. Let's do the one that I said might be a little bit challenging while some of you are still on here. This game is called Minute Cryptic. All right. It is, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's kind of like a crossword puzzle clue. There's a secret word. We'll do both games, but I want to do this one first, just in case some of y'all end up logging off, because that one I probably won't need as much help with. So there's a secret word within the clue that needs broken down based off the clue. It's kind of like a crossword puzzle in that. And like I said, I've watched a couple videos on how to do these, not the ones for this. Some of them are a little bit difficult. You really have to talk your way through it. There are hints, and you can use those hints. And you'll notice on the bottom here it says par. It's kind of like golf score. You want to try to only use your hints sparingly, right? And you want to try to fall par or better, right? So if we can get it within the first two guesses, within two hints, maybe a third. We don't really want to go over unless we absolutely have to. All right, so y'all can see my screen. Slender, shiny, sharpened steel strikers. All right, and this is a 6-letter word. So what I know, let me pull up the hints. You can have it show the definition, which is like kind of the definition of the word play that's involved. Show a letter. You can do that a few times. And show alternate clues. Well, we're going to kind of talk through this before we use any hints, but yeah, let's get into it. So I'm noticing that all 5 start with an S. So that could mean that the word starts with an S. Slender, shiny, sharpened, steel strikers. And so the striker could kind of be a hint. I see where you're going though, Caleb, but we can try it. I don't think it's swords, but we can try it. Okay. I wasn't going there, but I'm telling you, the ones I saw were a lot more difficult. Caleb, I'm going to ask you this, and I need you to be very honest with me right now. This is your real father speaking to you. Did you cheat and look this up? I did not cheat. Listen, maybe you're a pro at this, or maybe that was just that simple. There's clues. The community par average was needing 3 hints. And here's what there's videos to see how it works. So I want to watch this video because I want to see what all the clues were going to be.
Today's cryptic crossword clue is slender, shiny, sharpened steel strikers. And this clue comes to us from one of our members, Jackson Webb. Thank you, Jackson. I love this clue. Not only do I love this clue, but Jackson sent in an alternate to this clue, another clue with the same answer. And this is actually something that we do a lot. Pretty much every clue in our minis in the member section has an alternate, and you can view the alternate clue in the hints section. And then in the walkthrough video, I kind of discuss some of the alternates and why we went with one or the other. Sometimes we swap in an alternate that Liam sent me. It's a bit of fun in the minis, but we've never done it in a daily. And Jackson
all right, get into
sent
it, bro.
an alternate clue, which is soldier's scimitar, samurai's steel, swashbuckler's saber. And I might even like the alternate more. I think it's quite a bit easier, which is why we went with the main one. But both of these clues are and lits, which means that the whole clue is the wordplay and the whole clue is the definition. And looking at either of these clues, especially soldier's scimitar, samurai's steel, swashbuckler's saber, the answer is pretty obviously swords, right?
Yeah.
Those are all swords. And that's true of slender, shiny, sharpened steel strikers as well. Swords are slender, shiny, sharpened, steel, and strikers. They strike things. And so the answer is swords, but how is that wordplay? Well, you look at all those words and they all start with an S. They're all
That's
S
what I was.
words,
So we got the S
or
word.
swords, which are slender, shiny, sharpened steel strikers, or soldier's scimitar, samurai's steel, swashbuckler's saber.
That was the explanation. I'm telling you, the other ones were a lot more difficult. So good job, Caleb. Good job. Excellent. Like Nova said, sometimes the simple things are better or just make sense in the moment, right? Oh, awesome. All right. That was a lot of fun. No, that will leave us time. We'll play the other game. Wow. My kid is not average, LOL. All right, well, let's get into the other one. This other one's called Pips. And like I said, this one's more of a math game. Of course, now that I think about it, I don't know how, we'll play this one, but now that I think about it, I don't know how interactive this one is going to be for you guys. Because basically, here, well, let me show it to you. Well, let me do the easy. We'll do the medium. So here's what it looks like. You basically have to take the dominoes. If I click on them, it'll turn them whatever direction I want them to go. And then drag them up and place them here where they need to be. And so basically, what it's saying is the 3 orange here have to equal up to 2. This one is a 3. I'm guessing these just have to equal a certain number. Or they have to be equal. Same thing here. This one has to be greater than 4, and this one has to be less than 2. You see, math them out. Yeah, it's not even really solving a problem. I just started thinking about this. This one's cool, but I don't know really how interactive we'll be able to make this one. But since I already pulled it up, we'll go ahead and see if we can solve it. So like 2, I'm seeing there. And then we'll put a blank one up here, but I want one that I don't need. So we have a 3. So this one needs to be 3, but the only 3 we have is right there. These need to be equal. So the other blank will go here. And then we have a 4 here. A 4 here. Is that right? I think that's what it means. Like all these need to be the same number. Then the other thing is with that though, I'm seeing greater than 4, which would be 5, or the 6. Unless this one's supposed to go here. That's a 4. And then we got another 4. And then we do that. Then we do that. But then those need to be equal. Oh, I got it. Some of you were probably thinking like, what the heck is he doing? Did we get it? Oh, we got it. Hey, that wasn't bad. 3 minutes. 2 and blank with the 2 facing then the left. Yeah, see, that's why I'm saying there's no way for you guys to really interact because I appreciate what you're saying, but I have no idea what you're saying. So, okay, we won't do it. That one's a fun game. It's called Pips. That one's also through the New York Times. Feel free to check that one out. But yeah, I don't think that's one we'll really be able to do on here because you guys will try to help me and I'll have no idea what you're talking about. I had to think hard with how to word that when it was wrong. Yeah. But as you can see, it wasn't that hard as long as you're able to kind of talk yourself through it. So, I mean, overall, I did like that one. It wasn't bad. All right. So another fun episode. Once again, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. Having a bunch of you guys on here. Got a bunch of gifts on TikTok. Up to another 10,000 likes. That's back-to-back videos. I appreciate that. Appreciate the gifts that we're getting over there. Appreciate Ashley Brewer. Appreciate the support over on YouTube. I guess we got to whittle it down to our wellness warrior of the day. As I mentioned before, we're still trying to figure out. I'm trying to think of a way to kind of keep this fair because we have people who are on YouTube as well as TikTok. So looking at the scores, right? Ashley was 75 experience over there, and she did help us a lot with the Contexto game. Give us some really good answers over there, and really helped. Especially, you got 4 of the answers in the word salad, so that definitely bumps up your score as well. And then in the Wordle, you also got the civil, the Wordle there, so that's gonna bump you up some. Up to 11K likes over there on TikTok land. Appreciate that. Give me a second. I'm trying to see the TikTok because that's where there's 3 of you guys, or well, no, 4 of you all that have been over there. Where'd it go? I lost it. And I can't see I can't see it. Oh, there it is. It moved over somewhere else. Give me a second. Sorry, I know there's a little bit of a pause. It took a second to pop up. Expand. There we go. That's what I was looking for. top viewers. But it doesn't show those who are still on here. That's the only part I don't like. Well, don't give it to me. I performed poorly. No, Jake, you did your thing. The only thing is that I don't like is it just gives you all a score, but it doesn't really tell me it doesn't really tell me like how many times people have hit the likes today. So, all right. So based off of everything, based off of scores given between TikTok and YouTube, drum roll, please. You did get the word in one try, Caleb. I will give you that one. And that actually bumped your score up quite a bit. So the wellness warrior of the day. The wellness warrior of the day is going to be my nephew, Caleb Marine. I honestly, I think your dad logged off a little while ago. If he had stayed on, he probably would have won it because he had a bumped up score. I don't really like how the TikTok metrics kind of change once you log out. Like you're no longer watching the live. So, Caleb, you can share the crown. Family again. Hashtag rigged again. You can share the crown with your mother for another day. You are our honorary wellness warrior of the day. So, if you come back on Wednesday, we're not going to do it again just because eventually it's going to be a Patreon thing. You got to let me know when you're on. So, you got to be engaged in chat on Wednesday. We'll spin the wheel for you and see where it lands. If it's a wellness warrior pick, you'll get to pick what we do. You'll be on. Cool. So, once again, we have the Patreon link to anybody who's interested in linking to that. Go over there, share the love. Show your support over there. We appreciate it. We are slowly building, but we've had a lot of great engagement. I know y'all love the games. We're going to keep that going. And yeah, we're going to keep this thing. We're going to keep this thing rolling. We're looking to make some big jumps, between now and the end of the year. So just remember, drifting through life keeps us comfortable, but awareness is what keeps us alive. Tonight was your reminder to look up, tune in, and be present. Thanks for spending your time with us here at Bargain Brand Wellness. If you enjoyed tonight's discussion, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because healing isn't sold separately. So remember, my wellness warriors, stay curious, stay grounded, stay hydrated, and most of all, make it worth your wellness. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.